Hi guys, and welcome back. In this quick video I'm going to show you how to clean your Beretta 92 FS, or in this case the M9. Quick and easy way to do it, products to use, and obviously safety advice. So we have the Beretta M9, great gun, a lot of fun to shoot at the range, and I'm going to show you what product, what my cleaning kit consists of. So first we're going to go for the main product. Today I'm going to be using a different CLP. CLP made by Ballistol. Ballistol is a great eco-friendly, skin-safe, which is a big deal considering how much cleaning I'm doing on guns. Skin-safe product, highly recommend it. It is going to be a CLP, so this is what we are going to be using to clean the gun, to lubricate and protect that firearm. So it's in spray version of it. The other thing I'm going to be using is a clean bore pocket kit. Folds virtually into the grip, so super compact, super easy to have. Obviously it's caliber specific. This one will be for 9mm. This is a 9mm pistol. The other thing I'm going to have is a nylon bristle brush, and this is going to be what I'm going to be using to separate whatever carbon does not get separated easily from the gun by this CLP. If you have an old toothbrush, yeah, you could use it. That would work. Obviously, this is a little bit more towards the professional side of things. Nylon bristle, don't go for steel or copper. If you make a mistake, you get distracted, you start brushing the gun, you will ruin the finish with steel or copper. So this is something I recommend. And here is the other things I would recommend. It would be an acid brush. This is not a small paintbrush, it's going to be an acid brush. So this is designed to deal with chemical products. So definitely. Another thing is a cotton rag. You can use an old t-shirt, not a problem with that. Cotton, not synthetic, no blend. I prefer cotton thin. If you have an old t-shirt, just cut it in pieces. Me personally, I buy those cotton rags from Amazon. I will put the link of everything I'm using in the description anyway, so you'll have it. But this is definitely thin, and it's a good product to use, and super inexpensive. All right, so first thing to do is to make sure that the gun is unloaded. So this gun has been already safety checked, so I'm going to do it again for you on camera. So there's no magazine, there's no rounds of ammunition or loaded magazine on my cleaning station. That's going to be important. I'm going to check the chamber, make sure I have nothing in the chamber, and the chamber is clear. Since I value safety quite a lot, I'm going to rack it 3 times. This is something I recommend in classes, obviously, that you triple rack your gun. Just make sure that if you get confused in the unloading process, this may save your life or somebody else. So you triple rack the gun. All right, to take the Beretta apart, we're gonna have to take the take down switch and put it in the down position. To do this, you're gonna have to depress the little plunger button that you have on the other side. So I'm going to release a little bit the tension on the action by pulling it back slightly, push the button, and at the same time I'm going to rotate that takedown switch to its takedown position, just like so. All right. Then you can move the slide straight forward. All right. This is your frame, obviously, and the upper slide assembly. Okay. So on my gun, I did make a few modifications on this Beretta to improve it, and I think it's a good idea for you to look into this. I'm gonna have a video about it in a very near future, but a couple of things that changed on this gun that you can obviously see it is going to be adding a Wilson Combat recoil buffer, and that makes a big difference actually when you fire that gun. Much smoother, much less metal on metal impact when you're firing the gun. So I highly recommend this. It's very inexpensive. You find it on Wilson Combat's website for around $5 and change. So this is one of them. Now remember, the recoil spring is not captive in this gun, so be careful not to shoot that guide rod across the room. So grab the rear portion of it, pluck it out, but maintain control of it. Okay. And talking about the guide rod, so here's my recoil buffer. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove the recoil spring. Note it, this is not the nylon recoil guide rod that you will have typically with the Beretta who comes with it. No, nothing wrong with it. It works, but this is a Wilson Combat fluted guide rod. Adds a little bit of weight. And again, you'll feel it a little bit on the recoil impulse when you fire that gun. I think it's a really good option. Don't remember how much I paid for it. Not very expensive, somewhere around $20. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. Now to take the barrel out of the gun, you have a little plunger right here, right? So you can push on it and I'll jiggle the barrel right out of the gun, right? Okay. And that's the barrel. That's the locking block that I have right here. And as you can see, it's dirty. Normally, I will be wearing gloves. Yes, I'm not doing this today because the box with gloves is in the car and the car is not nearby. So I'm going to get dirty today, but that's okay. You can take a look at the barrel itself. I don't know if you guys can catch this on camera, but it is dirty. So we have a dirty barrel, dirty feeding ramp right there. So I'll set this aside. Okay. So now I'm going to start with the ballistol. I'm going to use it as a cleaning product. It is a little bit spray, so you can spray a little bit on it. I'm going to spray a little bit of it in the barrel. It has a tendency to foam. And apply it to the finish of the gun itself. Now what I love to do is to control how much product I put on my gun is to apply a little bit of that product onto the acid brush and use this to virtually give it a wet look all over the parts. So you want to virtually paint everything, and you're not painting the Sixtine Chapel, so don't go too details on it, right? You can go roughly on it, and you can see that the ballistol immediately start attacking that carbon deposit that you have on the gun, right? It's a very good product, actually. Now, the ballistol, I must tell you guys, does have somewhat of a smell to it. Now, this is a product I've been using since I'm a little kid, so for me, it brings childhood memories. For some of my colleagues, they find it to smell like dirty socks, whatever that means. So they don't like the smell. That's something that, for me, it doesn't bother me. But in any case, I have some students and some friends of mine who actually complain about the smell. Okay, now we're gonna put some more product on the acid brush, and I'm going to just give it a wet look throughout the part. Okay, that's what you want to do. Just apply the product. The product is going to be safe on most every surface, leather, painted sides, all finish that I know of. So you can just be generous with it. Just wipe everything down with it. Just give it that wet look. All right. So when I apply the product onto all the part of the gun, make sure you don't forget that bridge face right here. Okay. Good. Set this aside, and I have a little routine where I start with the barrel, then I move to the slide, then I move to the frame itself. So excellent. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do the same on the actual frame where I'm having friction. So you're going to have those rail portion of it connecting the lower frame with the upper one. So definitely want to be careful to maintain this properly. Apply the product throughout. All right. I'm going to add a little bit to it. And the gun is dirty. Not too crazy actually, but that's okay. I apply this onto the gun. All the parts, right? Good. Just like this. I love that smell. I don't know why everybody a lot of people criticize it. Okay, here's I have my guide rod, so I'm going to put a little bit of product. Since it's not captive, I don't have any problem putting product on it and cleaning it. It's not usually dirty, but that's that. Okay, beautiful. So did with that, apply the product. Technically, if this was if you're doing this, I recommend that you let the product sit a little bit on the gun. You can let it sit for somewhere around, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Fix yourself a little Nespresso, have a little cigar. Now, I'm not recommending you to smoke, but whatever, that's what I would do. Okay, but let the product soak onto the gun, and that gives it time to separate all the carbon deposit that you have on that gun. Makes the job of cleaning it even easier. All right, here is the part where we're coming back to this part with the nylon brush, and that's going to help us separate whatever carbon, whatever deposit, whatever dirt did not get already separated with the product. So you take the brush and you can just give it a brush all over it. All right. Notice that feeding ramp, remember? When I showed you this, you can back up the video and look it up, look up a little bit how it looked before I applied the product. All right, so this is an older gun design. An older gun design, I like to use a little bit of the older product to maintain it. And Ballistol have been around for a long time. I've been using that product since I'm a little kid. My father before me used that product. It's very popular in Europe. Very popular in Europe. It's a good, you find it all over the place. As a matter of fact, you find it even in little glass jars. They sell it at your local gun shop. Yeah. All right, and what I'm doing is I'm just brushing over with a nylon brush all on the inside the rail, and I'm going to pay special attention at what people tend to forget a lot, that bridge face. That said, you're going to have a little bit of splattering. It's a little bit of a dirty job sometimes. So what I would recommend, don't wear your best clothing when you do this, right? Just what I use quite often is a cooking apron I bought from IKEA for, what was it, $5 back in the days and everything else. So this allows me to keep the gun and close to my body without getting too dirty. You can find this on Amazon too. I'm sure you can find something. Then give it a brush, just gentle. This is the lower portion frame part of the fitting ramp, so obviously take care of it as well. Okay, you have nothing really to do. So whatever carbon deposit was on the gun, well, it got separated. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take that cotton t-shirt and you're gonna be using that t-shirt to just wipe down all the dirt out of the gun and prepare all the parts for oiling. It's a very satisfying job. So you're gonna wipe down. Oh, and we have to do the, almost forgot, we have to give it a little bit of a brush inside that barrel. So we're gonna go chamber side with the copper brush. I'm gonna give it a few passes to it. That's, back and forth just a few times. Very effective, actually. Very nice, very effective. Just give it a little bit, few brush. Wipe everything down. Wiping everything down, getting everything ready for oiling. Now, we don't want a white glove cleaning inspection. This is not the goal of the exercise. We just want to make sure that everything has been wiped down clean, just like this. Generally, you're fine. I can run even that little rag underneath the log here. Sometimes it goes through. Let me see if I get lucky on camera. It's very difficult when you actually do something on camera. It's because I'm virtually halfway looking at what I'm doing through the actual camera, believe it or not. Yep. No. Very good. Just a good wipe. Set it aside. Well, my guide rod here. Yep. Look at this. Beautiful. We have some cuts for elements to get in there. And as far as the spring is concerned, just wipe it down. Nothing special. Just make sure it's in good condition. Good. I'm going to do the same here for the frame. Not a difficult job. This gun is such a delight to shoot. Actually, it's not a lightweight modern gun like a Glock or your 320 Sig or anything like this. It's old school. It takes a little bit more practice to master this gun properly. I just have a new student who started a class. That's his first gun. He bought the 92 FS, an Italian one. Very nice. Very nice gun. Uh, Not necessarily the easiest gun to use or to train with in the beginning. However, if you master the manual of arm of that gun, you'll be pretty much good with almost everything you find out there. As this is a double single action pistol, so it's a little bit more work as far as learning the gun. But that's what we do. We teach people on how to operate those guns properly and safely. It's a very safe gun. When you know what you're doing, it's a safe gun. So I'm gonna wipe everything down. Right, there's the cotton here. I'm removing quite some dirt out of it. Look at this. What a satisfying job, actually. I enjoy doing this quite a bit. I grew up watching those guns. I always wanted that Beretta. I always wanted it. It used to be the gun of our police in the country where I come from. Yeah. Wonder if you guys can guess from what country I'm from. Right? If you follow me so far, you probably caught it with my accent. Uh, my accent is pretty bad. I know. I'm trying my best not to confuse you guys with it, especially with technical terms. All right, that's a little buffer. Yeah. Such a cheap piece of equipment. Such a difference when you shoot the gun. Actually, you wouldn't believe it. Right now, the more modern version of the Beretta, like the A1 series, they will come with an internal buffer built in. Essentially, I don't know if I like it or not. All right, so the gun is clean. So now it's time to put a little bit of oil on it and to put it back together. Okay, so to oil the gun, not to have it soaked with oil and not putting it too much, I'm going to use my acid brush again. So that gives me good control of how much product I'm putting onto the gun. I'm going to start with the barrel where I know I have friction. So I'm going to have those rail right here, a little dab of oil or ballistone, right? Just like that. Taking the frame, run that acid brush into the rails on both sides, right, where I know I have frictions. And here you have the cut for the log to move in. So obviously I'm going to pay attention to that. A little bit of a tad here. That's it. And I'm going to do the same for the rails on the opposite side, right here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful result. Excellent. Huh? Again, why not? Normally I don't do this because it's not necessary, or on a captive system I wouldn't do that. But since this is so easy to clean and wipe down, I'm going to put a little bit of the oil on the actual guide rod for the recoil spring. Okay, it's time to put it together. So take the barrel, make sure that the log moves freely. Obviously, it's well centered to do so. Good. And it takes a little bit of jiggling around, but you're gonna get it pretty quickly. So you take the barrel, you put the barrels back in, you sit it down, and you jiggle that piece into position just like so. Excellent. All right. Now I'm gonna take my guide rod and recoil spring, put my little recoil buffer on it, just like so. So this takes a little bit of finesse because it's not captive. So we're starting with the front first, and I'm pushing that guide rod, making sure that the recoil buffer rides onto the barrel. So just like so. Yeah, beautiful. Excellent. Just like that. right? See the position? Just like that. Beautiful. I'm gonna put my thumb on top of the guide rail just to make sure it doesn't jump on me. I'm gonna align the rails with the opposite rails I have here. Good. Guide the frame into the lock position just like this, and push it back a little bit. I'm gonna flick that disassembly switch back into the lock position. Good. My goodness, that is extremely smooth. All right, but the gun is clean, but obviously full of oil and everything else. So I'm going to take my little cotton t-shirt and I'm gonna give it a good wipe just to make sure that the gun is comfortable to handle, and I'm not putting oil all over my clothing or my bag and so on. All right. Now be careful with one thing. I want to point out something. If you follow me so far in the video, you're getting the bonus of my little warning on that gun. Right, my little be careful part, the don't mess it up. The finish that you have on the frame, that black finish that you have, is very nice, but not as durable as what you see around on other guns. So if you wear rings or anything else like this, just be careful, because I've seen a lot of guys and gals actually scratching that finish. So I'm a little old school and picky with the finish of my gun. I know it gives it character, but I like to have my gun with as minimum of scratch as possible, right? It just looks beautiful, right? Look at this. Looks amazing. So function check. Finger clear from the trigger, obviously. Look, and you see the fitting ramp. Amazing fitting ramp. Good. Smooth as silk. Good. So now I'm pointing the gun in a safe direction. I'm going to pull the trigger. It goes click. I'm going to pull the double action. It goes click as well. I'm going to cock the hammer back. I'm going to use the safety decocking system. I'm going to put it on safe, which is decock the gun. Beautiful. Leave it on safe and test the safety. Make sure that the safety actually works, right? It's definitely something you want. Put it back on ready to fire. Double action again. It works. And voila. Your gun is clean. So that was not very difficult, and with the proper tools, proper product, you will get only amazing results. So I hope you guys liked it. If you have any suggestion, anything else, or any experience with that gun, if that was your first gun you trained with, and well, then congratulations, you didn't start easy. But if whatever experience you have with your Beretta, let me know. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. It means a lot to me. And I'm looking forward to have you guys in for next time in another video. All right, beautiful. Have a good day.